Hi, it's Toni and Brandon again from Aquatek Water Conditioning, and today we're going to talk about some tips and tricks when you're looking to buy a new home. A lot of times we take for granted how important water is in that process. And I can tell you about 20 years ago when we were buying a home, water wasn't even on my list. I just wanted to make sure that our home was nice and that we could grow into it and then it was going to be okay. And thank goodness I had a water treatment professional as a husband who had taken care of all of that for me in the background.
Yeah, so at that point, I was already 5 years into my career in water treatment. So when we were looking at houses, while Toni was looking at the kitchen, the bathrooms, I was going down to the basement, and looking at the water system or the furnace or the mechanical part of it. So I already knew, what's going to cost us a lot of money probably, possibly if it is old and needs to be replaced.
Yeah, and thank goodness he did, because I would have been scrubbing my showers and scrubbing the toilets endlessly, not even knowing that there was a solution for that. And we also have high TDS in our water, and our water would have tasted gross. So a simple water softener and a reverse osmosis got us all set. I always say that we always have had the best quality water our whole life, so I've taken that for granted myself. But so anyway, we're not immune to those types of questions, decisions, things either. So we just wanted to share with you some of the things that we see on our end that might make it a whole lot better for you when you're looking to buy a house, and just knowing that water is really important.
Yeah. So the best thing to do is ask questions. If you have a realtor you're dealing with, ask them. Do they know the area and what's going on with the water in that area? What type of water is the house supplied with? You find in Northwest Ohio, we can have a lot of city water, we have a lot of well water, we have a lot of people who use ponds for their drinking water. We've had many people who've bought a house, called us to explain the system, and I had to come out to explain that it was a pond water treatment system, and they didn't even know where the water was coming from a pond. They didn't even know that when they bought the house. So, knowing these things beforehand, they know what they're getting into, the maintenance-wise, the upkeep. We can explain how old, the system is. Has it been maintained if it was by us or on one of our systems? Or just give them that general knowledge of what they're getting into. But asking questions is the best thing. Asking your realtor, look around. Is there a lot of ponds in your area? Possibly it's by a pond water area. Ask the neighbors. Don't be hesitant to ask the neighbors what they're doing or who do they use for their contractor, or for water treatment. So asking questions is the best thing.
Absolutely. So the second tip that we have is to, after you ask these questions, you kind of know what you're looking at. Most water situations are easily treatable. So you just want to know on the front end, how much is this going to cost? Do I need to improve my system? Do I need to add a system? Do I have the appropriate space for my system? So budget, get that information ahead of time, talk to a water treatment professional, just get some information so that okay, once I move in, I'm going to need to do this if I want to have this type of quality of water. Just do your research like everything else. But if you know that on the front end, it's not so painful on the back end.
Yep. And obviously, if you buy a house that has one of our systems, obviously you can call us and we're going to have all that record of when it was installed, how much maintenance has been done to it, what's the life expectancy is left in that unit. So that's something to be very easy for us. If it's not ours, can we still come out? Absolutely. We can come out and test that raw water, test the treated water, and let you know if it's working properly or not. That's a good starting point. That consultation would be free for us to come out and just do an oversight of your system. If it's working great, we'll just let her go and you can keep on using it. We might make recommendations off that, or you might want, more improvement in your water. And those things we find out when we meet with you.
Along the lines of, the new home, if you're considering remodeling the home, remodeling a kitchen, putting in new appliances, things like that, you're also going to want to consider several things.
Good time to upgrade the water equipment. A lot of people do it. That's a really old farmhouse or just an old house in general, and they don't know how bad their water is until they put that new white tub in, or they put a black countertop or black faucet in, and it starts getting spotted up or corroded. Then they notice maybe it wasn't working as good as we thought it was. So if you're upgrading other water appliances, maybe a good time to look into the water treatment equipment too.
Absolutely. And like Brandon said, it's as simple as us coming out, testing your water and looking at the space. Then we can provide you with the appropriate quotes and the accurate information so that you can move forward and in the best manner.
Yeah, we're just trying to eliminate that headache, because I hate going out when someone's bought a house, they call us and I have to come out and realize that their water system's in shambles. I mean, it's well over 20, 30 years old and it needs a complete replacement. And that's money that they just spent all this money buying a new house, and now they're going to spend another possibly several $1000s of upgrading. So that's heartbreaking to hear. But like Toni said, if you know that beforehand, you can kind of budget knowing I'm going to have to upgrade some of my appliances. It's not as hard a decision to make there. So we're just trying to help you out in that process of buying a new house, or when you're building. It's the same concept when you're building. A little more lengthy process of getting the new well and also that stuff, but it's the same process of being prepared of what you're getting into.
So there's so many decisions that go into planning, purchasing, looking at a new home, the excitement, but the stress.
Yes.
There's so many, what kind of lights are we going to get, and what are our cabinets going to look like? And there's so many things. If you prepare and you think about your water on the front end, it's going to make your whole process so much easier.
Correct.
Yep. So I have some notes that I'll put here with this video, some questions to ask, just so that you have those resources as well. And hopefully we'll do another video on things to consider when you're building a home as well.
Yep. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. Like I said, it's no cost or obligation for me to come out to look at things. We'd love to help you.